Hi, this is James. Welcome to the channel. I am the unofficial mayor of Cowboy Country. So glad you could be here with us. It's just been a really rough day. I am grateful for my experience on Friday night. Funny thing is, this is about the same exact size as the Baylor Cup, and I got this Friday at SMU at Gerald J. Ford Stadium. And great experience. I do think they should be in the Big 12. Once their stadium is fixed up, it's gonna be really good. Plus, I like the fact that their seats, like the 100 level is blue and the 200 level is red. It looked really good. And I'll say the same thing for TCU's stadium. They actually have on the benches in the regular people's section, they actually have a back to it, and all of those backs are painted purple. So it added to the atmosphere inside of Ammon Carter. Speaking of frogs, by the way, I also did North Texas' stadium, so if you haven't seen that video, go watch that. Decent stadium, tremendous indoor practice facility. It's very clear to me that's where they spent their money, and it shows. Excellent, top-notch facility. So, had to walk around, had to go to 3 different places to get this bad boy. But now that we've got Super Frog, there's now 5 Big 12, current Big 12 schools. You got Tech represented, TCU, Baylor, obviously OSU, and Texas. So obviously when Texas and OU leave, they'll be gone. But I already have Cosmo, who's represents the BYU, and they're one of the 4 teams coming in. So we will be getting Willie the Wildcat in soon. As far as the loss is concerned, I mean, in reality, what you have to do is you have to learn to show up and take care of the things that you can take care of. For me, I did not bring sunscreen today, and you can tell I'm crispy critter. That's why I left at halftime. I just was not prepared. I wore dark clothing where I shouldn't have, and I didn't bring sunscreen. And I should have drank more water. But, yeah, I got a cup at the TCU game. It's in the car. But anyway, we will add more to this. This is just a beginning. I do have another surprise. I'm going to show it to you later when it gets here. It has something to do with Boone Pickens Stadium. Anyway, all the football games are done. I'm doing this video late Saturday night. We'll post this. This will be the Sunday video. That way, when I get done doing what I need to Sunday morning, I'm actually filling in the pulpit for somebody. I can focus on my studies and do other things. So, anyway, week 7. We already talked about Baylor versus West Virginia. Glad the Mountaineers won. At least Neil Brown. The hot seat won't be so hot. We talked about UCF beating the tar out of Temple. SMU beat Navy. I was there in person. Yes, Taylor Mordecai is legit. He's a really good quarterback. Like I said, they deserve to be in the Big 12. Was wrong about KU versus OU. Was not aware that OU's quarterback was going to be back. But clearly Dylan Gabriel is legit. He's a good athlete. And unfortunately, KU's starter is still out. So had he been there, would they have won? Honestly, I think so. I mean, they only lost by 10. And clearly, when you have a running quarterback that can do the things that he can do, and we'll talk about that here in a second, because obviously Oklahoma State has a running quarterback and didn't quite get the job done. Texas beat Iowa State, but I did not think this game was going to be as close as it was. And Hunter Decker is still making a few mistakes. However, I will say this. I saw the play where Deckers dove down and he got hit and there was a fumble. To me, it was very obvious that Decker's knee was down. It should not have been ruled a fumble, but it was, and that's how the game ended. So there's a real possibility if the refs hadn't messed up that call that Iowa State could have won that game. So I feel bad for the Cyclones. I really do. I feel like they got gypped. Oh, OSU versus TCU. The part that I saw in person, I saw the Cowboys just running down the field and basically scoring at will. So I have no idea. I mean, I heard it on the radio. That's one of the reasons I kind of wanted to leave early, is the fact that I could listen to Dave and John. Or you can tell I'm tired. Our color and play-by-play guy and Robert Allen, Dave and Tom, Dave Hunsinger, and anyway. The point is, I think Oklahoma State got conservative in the second half, and I don't understand why, as far as I can tell, that the tight end or the Cowboy back or whatever you want to call him, I think he only got thrown to like twice. And if Bray is, or not Bray, Johnson, number 8, if he's supposed to be the fastest guy on the team, why is he not getting the ball thrown to him more? You got to work with him. If he's dropping the ball, work with him. Don't just, he drops the ball too many times, so we're not going to throw it to him. It's just, you've got to be able to stretch the defense. And so then those underneath passes are going to be open. So I'm just very disappointed. Now, granted, they're 5-1. They went out. They could play TCU again in the final at the Big 12 championship game in Arlington. It'll be pretty much like a home game for the Horned Frogs, but that's a realistic possibility because TCU looked pretty good today. Who knows? Arkansas beat up BYU pretty badly. That was another bad pick for me. Now, I just got done a little while ago watching USC at Utah, and yes, I did pick the Utes. And man, their coach has guts to go for it for two when you're down 42-41. That took a lot of guts, and it paid off because they won. So, like I said, when I made my picks, Tech, Kansas State, Houston, and Cincinnati all had byes. So I picked another game, and I was like, well, I'm from the Syracuse area. NC State at Syracuse, they're both ranked. Let's pick that game. And I said Syracuse was going to win just because the Dome is when the fans show up, the Dome can be a very hostile crowd. And sure enough, Syracuse won quite easily, 24-9. So we're 6-3 for the week. I didn't do the math ahead of time. Sorry. I guess I could take my pencil out with my remarkable. So 6-3. I was 34-15. So that would make me 40-18. And I'll do the percentage right there. I'm just still disappointed about what happened with Oklahoma State. But here's the truth. Here's the bottom line. Texas isn't going to care about our feelings. Texas isn't going to care that we feel upset, that we lost a game that we should have won. Texas isn't going to care about any of that stuff. They're going to come into Stillwater and they're going to say, we've got to win this game if we're going to get back into the race for the Big 12 championship. Texas only has one Big 12 loss. They lost to Texas Tech. They throttled OU. They beat West Virginia. They beat Iowa State. In their mind, if they can beat us, they're back in the hunt for the Big 12 title. And in their mind, they hope that Texas Tech makes it as well, because then they can have a rematch in Arlington. We got to take care of business. And before we even start thinking about the Big 12 championship, you got to win your sixth game. Oklahoma State has got to win this next game against Texas to get bowl eligible. Let's just get that out of the way, and then we can focus on trying to win the Big 12, or at least to get to the Big 12 championship game. Because quite frankly, unless you win out, you're going to need help from somebody else. So, is it possible? Sure. If you were to lose another game, but the team that beats you has a couple players get hurt, and then they lose a couple games, yeah, that's entirely possible. Robert Allen mentioned the idea of the fact that the Big 12 is so good that teams are probably going to beat up on each other and nobody's going to make the actual playoff. That's a realistic possibility. I personally would like to see Oklahoma State get an at-large bid to not the Sugar Bowl. That's with the Big 12 champion, but to the Cotton Bowl, just because of where I live. But that's just me. I wouldn't necessarily want to see them drop all the way down to the Alamo Bowl, but that would also that would be convenient for me. But it's not about me; it's about what's best for the team. And guys, if Oklahoma State wants to be a serious contender for the Big 12, they've got to beat Texas, and they got to take care of business. And they can't let Bijan Robinson run all over them the way they let TCU's running backs run. That's the thing that disappoints me more than anything else. But it is what it is. In college football, you have ups and downs, and you just have to deal with that and understand that not everything's going to go the way you want it to. So, if you are new here, please hit like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. I'd love to get to 200 by next week. So we're this close. So please hit like and subscribe. From the bottom of my heart, I want you to know that I appreciate you. I thank you for watching. I know that your time is valuable. Oh, by the way, the whole experiment with using the cameras on the back, yes, the picture was a little bit better than this. However, when I'm using the front-facing camera, I can see the timer, and that way it keeps me on track, and I don't ramble on too much. So, because I know your time is valuable, and I don't want to take up too much time. So, until later this week, and I do have a few surprises maybe coming. So stay tuned, and I hope you have a good week.